Sorry.
Not anyways. However, Duncan absolutely recognizes some of at least the last names on some of these lists, as well as the purchasers too, which is kind of off-putting for you. Let's see. Oh, okay. You also notice that there is a coffer on that table right there, and there's about roughly 200 gold pieces in that coffer. And there's a ledger there, and it looks like the guy who you just cooked was a paymaster. He was paying out people. So you guys can take you can take that coffer if you want to load yourself down. Let's see. All right. The room has the simple bed. It's got the scroll racks all over the place. Papers and ink are on top of the table. Scroll and list of financial records of the operation, giving names of sources of slaves, which, by the way, Duncan, you notice some noble names attached to some of these slavers that are the suppliers of slaves, which is kind of strange. And it also shows how widespread the slavery ring is. It pretty much goes all throughout the peninsula that's known as the Pomarge, which is where you guys are at right now. There's also a detailing by name of the various posts of the slavers' route to the slave lords. Okay, so you guys have that map now. But there is, let's see. Stuffed in one of the scrolls, you guys already found this. I just will repeat this. In the rack is a key and on a chain. And also attached to that chain is a silver pipe whistle. It is worth about 100 gold pieces, as according to Blodgett's estimate. But there is a small, very thin whistle that is attached to this key that's on a chain. So that's where you're at. What do you want to do? Let's go around the horn here. Blodgett, you're here by the door as we last left off.
Well, I'll definitely take a handful of those gold coins, but I think I'm getting close to my
encumbrance level.
yeah. So I don't want to push it too much, but I will definitely take a reasonable few, assuming the rest of the party will as well. And then once I've done that, I plan on moving back out into the hallway to keep an eye on things, since I know we have danger about, and somewhere are werewolves, at least according to the madman that was across the hall.
Nice of you to remember such things. Okay, so more importantly, who is going to keep the key and the whistle that is on the chain?
I can hang on to that.
Okay, so hang on to that.
Yeah, you gave me the key and the key. Map last time. Yeah.
All right, who do you want to hang on to it, or do you want to give it to Duncan?
I don't mind.
Jess, you had it, so you can do what you want to with it.
Yeah, we can give it to Duncan. That's fine.
Okay, so Duncan, you are the keeper of the key and the whistle. Okay. Let's see. We have you're the key master.
The key master.
And let's see. I will move Lupo around. Grot, what do you
have a shower?
Benny's with you.
Benny's with me, as always. Yes. That bastard.
What do you want to do? Blodgett's heading out into the hallway. Yeah.
I will draw my two-handed sword.
Okay.
And I am going to join Blodgett in the hallway. Grat is going to cover his 6.
Okay.
Make sure there's no...
Okay. Really, just one last thing. Let's go around the horn and check your hit points really quickly. Where are you at? What's your hit point?
I'm at 40. I'm at 43 out of 62.
Okay, Blodgett, what are you at?
Looks like I'm at 32 of 36.
Okay. Right. What's your hit points right now, and what do you want to do? Martinelli.
My hit points is 39.
Okay.
So
Out of what?
39 maximum. I'm not sure how much because I know I got injured and then I got healed. So
okay, let's just leave you at max right now. I'm just gonna presume that Gray performed field surgery on you.
yeah, he did. He did
Just
something
easier
like
to
that.
start with that. So what do you want to do?
Are there any gold pieces left on the table?
Oh yeah, they're still in the coffer there if you want. Blodgett just grabbed a grip of them, and that's
I'm
about
gonna
it.
grab some, not a lot, like just a handful, and
Okay.
put it in my satchel or bag or whatever
Yeah.
I got.
You got it. And I'll keep track of that. Okay, so what do you want to do?
I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna leave the room and meet up with Blodgett.
Okay. Here. You don't see anybody in the hallway. Well, all of you, by the way, who are in the hallway right now. There's no one in the hallway, and which is kind of strange considering how much
way are we going?
noise you've been making. I'll
You
back
going
this up.
north or south?
So this is where you have sort of seen what you've seen thus far. Let me push that up for you.
Brad, look at compass.
That's
Wonder
about
where
it.
we go.
Okay. Let's see. Duncan, what do you want to do?
All right, I have my HP at 20 out of 25,
Okay.
and want to also help myself to a handful of the coin, and then head outside with Grat.
There, got it. DS, what do you want to? DS, what do you want to do?
So 13 out of 17.
Okay.
And I'm going to check the rack on the right there, because last time I only got to check the north side before the chaos happened.
Okay.
Is there anything in there that's interesting to scroll rise?
There's nothing that in any way has any kind of like magical dwemer on it, if that's what you're looking for. But most of it is just like ledgers. There's some possibility. Hang on.
Get a room.
The only thing that is out of the ordinary in all of this is there seems to be some like pages that have been torn from a book. And it looks like you can't really make out what language it's in. It's in some form of common, but it's not anything that you're super familiar with. If you sat down with it long enough, figure it out. But it looks like it's been torn from a book, some sort of religious book. And there's about 4 pages that have been kind of like folded and stuffed in. That's the only thing out of the ordinary that's here.
Okay, so I know quite a bit of languages. Do I possibly might know? Let me read it off.
I'll give it to you. Hang on one sec. Well, it's in Elder Common is what it's in. Like there's different forms of Common in Greyhawk. So it's in the old form of Common. So it's
Probably
from some sort of, you can make out the words, but you can tell that it's probably pulled from some religious text. And there is one of the pages has some. It looks like some form of magical writing, but not like it doesn't have a magical dwemer to it, but it just has it's some sort of like magic like rune of some sort. But again, it's an older form of common, so you can't really tell what it is. You'd probably, between you and Rothos, you might be able to figure it out.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just I guess take it with me. It might be interesting for now.
Okay. All right, so you can hang on to that. What else do you want to do?
If I remember correctly, being a cleric, I'm kind of paid by the churches, so I'm gonna leave the gold.
Okay. And I presume you want to head towards the door.
Yeah, we head out. Yep.
Okay, I'll put Gray over here and Lupo here with the light source. There are kind of low burning torches in the hallway here. They're kind of at a slow burn. So there is a bit of light in the hallway. Blodgett, you're right here. You're up. What do you want to do?
All right. 2 things. First, Jesse, even though you are a cleric and a part of the church, you need the gold to fund your church. So just player to player, it would behoove you to grab some for experience points reasons in first edition, and also to further your religious calling. So, and DM, I will move up to the door on the right hand side as you
I'll
look
do that
at
then.
the screen and listen to the door.
Which one, here or left or right?
The right hand side is we're looking at the screen.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So you move up as silently as you can. Let's see, 10, 20, 30. Okay, yeah, no problem. And you are now presently listening to this door. But you just got up there. So, Grot, what do you want to do?
All right. So we apparently Grat see that we're going north. Grat will take Benny with him and go in the backpack and go up to left hand door and listen to, and in his own bumbling way will listen to left hand door.
Okay.
Short lived. I got a dip, guys.
Okay.
All right.
Don't worry, I won't kill you.
Not much.
Okay, so Grot, you're up there. Rothos is out. I'll put DS over here with the spellcasters, and let's put Lupo in the hallway, and we'll put Grot or Gray over here. Aldemar, TJ, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna head up to meet up with Grot and Bludget.
Okay.
Meh.
And Duncan?
I'm going to try to keep up with Grot.
Okay. All right, Blodgett, roll me a D20, please.
All right. And I rolled a 14.
Okay. You don't hear anything from behind the door.
Do I see any light underneath it?
Yes, there is light coming from beneath the door.
Okay.
This door, you do notice it is a bit more ornate than the other doors, and the one across from you as well is also it's not like there's no like bas relief in it, but it looks like they both look like they're black doors.
Okay.
And like black oak of some sort. They're heavier doors.
Are they black oak doors from Arkansas by chance?
From Arkansas, from the swamp. Yeah, swamp oak. But they are heavier. They have a bit better binding, and the from what you can see, there's not quite iron bound, but they are certainly reinforced with a bit of iron at the hinges. Grot, you notice the same thing. Actually, Grot, roll me a D12 or D20 as well.
D20? All right.
Yeah.
8.
You don't hear anything at the door.
Grat, no hear nothing.
Well, just like shocking.
Right? You dumb son of a bitch.
Okay. Back to you, Blodgett. What do you want to do? You hear nothing behind this door, but again, it's a pretty heavy door to begin with.
All right. I will move across to check the other door, and there are no other doors at the end there.
No, it's a dead end. Right about
dead
20 feet later, it's a dead end.
Okay. Yeah, I will check out this door, light coming underneath it, and also listening for any sound.
There is no light coming from underneath this door that you can. I don't know. Describe to me how you're looking for it. Just looking
getting down on
the lip of the door.
Yeah, getting down to look and smell around at the bottom of the door and trying to peer underneath it and see if I can detect even like a faint candlelight across from it. Not just looking at the bottom of the door standing tall, but actually getting down on the floor and investigating.
It looks like after you kind of investigate, you can't really see any kind of light source coming from under there, but your infravision's kind of, let's see, how far away are you? 10, 20. Okay, so you're about, yeah, okay, I'll give it. There is some kind of a heat source you can tell just with your infravision, but your infravision is almost fouled because Lupo has the light source behind you.
Okay. I will share with Grot that there might be someone in there sleeping, that they don't appear to have lights on. Across the way, they do have lights on, but I can't hear whether or not anyone's in there or it's just an empty room that someone left a lamp on.
So
wait. Grat say this room were by where I am or where you were.
The door where we are
Yeah.
appears to have someone in it, possibly sleeping.
How can Grat not hear that? What give?
You just need to practice more, big guy.
All right.
And then I
check
point.
next time.
I point to the door that we were at, and I'm like, over there, someone left either some candles burning or a torch in the sconce or a lamp lit. I don't know if anyone's in there. I didn't hear anyone, but this room, if we go in, we're probably going to surprise someone sleeping. In that room, someone might be awake.
Grat sold. So that's this door that Grat cannot hear shit. Let's go in and fight.
Okay, Rollo, I will check to see if the door is locked, and if
okay. So you're gonna check that. I want you to give me an intelligence check real quick.
Do it, Doug.
I rolled a 5. My intelligence is 16.
No problem. All right, so. As you're doing this, okay, so there is no lock on this door. Well, I shouldn't say that there is a lock, but the door is unlocked at this point.
Okay.
You also notice that the door is almost identical to the one that's across from it, and again, it's heavier built, and you had a really tough time hearing through it. So, possibility exists that all the ruckus that you were making prior to all this, there's pretty good insulation in these doors. So just saying. But anyways, you detect there is a lock on the door, but the door is not locked.
Okay. I will let Grot know that the door doesn't appear to be locked. Do you want me to slowly open the door and try to sneak in by myself to check it out? Or do you want me to open the door and you bust in there and start killing things?
Grat maybe flip coin.
or Grat, we could run this by Duncan and Gray and see what they think.
Grat don't care what they think. Grat say little friend.
Okay, we're gonna ask Gray. I have to roll a d12. This is how many minutes it takes for him to figure out what to do.
Grat say little friend, open door and see what inside before we Cheetos! See if Cheetos are inside. See if Grat need to bust in.
We need Cheetos.
I have to bring Cheetos.
Aldemar, you're involved in all this. Duncan, you can hear this conversation too because you guys have taken no precautions to
we're not really silent
this to anybody.
So, all right. Grat said little friend open door quietly.
DM, I am going to make sure that my rapier is sheathed because I don't want the magic glow to give off any light. I will.
I mean the short sword, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, short sword. Well, I had rapier because you had me roll up a different character. So
that's true. That's true. You have a dancing short sword, which is the only real magical hand weapon you have. Well, I mean, you got daggers too. But.
Yeah, but I've got silver daggers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my magic blade is sheathed so that the glow does not give me away. I will pull silver daggers for both hands, one blade out, one blade inward, so I can use my hand to open the door slowly and cautiously, slipping in the darkness, making as little noise as possible to look around the room with my infravision to see what kind of shape I was seeing a heat source from.
Okay, so you push just ever so slightly into here.
Just enough for a 3 foot.
So you can poke your head around the corner here. Okay, the door opens inward, just to say. And you notice that there is a very low burning candle somewhere in the room as you poke your head in there. And so that's really where the heat source is coming from. But it's like a tallow candle, but it's like very, very low on there, as if like it's been sitting there for a bit.
All right. Does the room appear empty otherwise? At least
for what you can, from where you're at right now, within the little glow that you can see. Let's see. Go with that. There we go. Okay. You can see what looks like some sort of bed to this side, so it's pushing in. So you would be able to see up into this corner.
Okay.
And the light is coming from this table, or what looks like a roundish table across from that bed. And you don't see any heat signature in that bed, so no one is sleeping. No one is sleeping in my bed.
Oh.
All right.
That's about what you can see right there.
All right. I would like to, using my sneaky, thievy, burglary, hobbity
Trixie
skills, to sneak into the room, hugging the wall, hugging the shadows, to see if I can sneak in unawares to anyone who might be in there. I do not close the door completely.
Because you have the boots of elven kind, you enter the room silently.
Okay.
The only thing that gives you away is the pocket full of cash you have in your wallet. That's right. No, you get in silently and you see this. And it's the light is so low, you're very certain that you are like sort of hidden in the shadows. Now on this table right here, that's where the low candle is. There are two other beds over here, but there's no one in this room.
All right, I will.
But the beds are unmade, as if someone had been sleeping in them not too long ago, and you can't really. I'll let you figure things out.
As far as going over and feeling if the bed still got some warmth to
you
it.
To do that,
yes.
Your infravision's ruined. Like you wouldn't be able to see if there was because the candle's in the room, but you can go and have a look and see. They're actually fairly nice beds considering the other, like you were just in the bugbear quarters. So
right.
They're fairly nice beds. Again, all of them are unmade.
Okay.
And I'll need you to tell me exactly what you're doing, but I'll just give you this. It appears to be some sort of quarters for 3.
Okay.
And like I said, there are beds. There's the stools there with the table, the short table where the candle is, and it looks as if the wax on the candle has run down onto the table.
Okay.
And let's see. The room does not appear to be well kept, but the beds are much of a different quality than the ones you like. They're certainly not goblin or bugbear quality.
All right.
But I will let you explore. Grot, you haven't heard anything from Blodgett in about a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Grat.
Aldemar, same thing. Duncan, same thing.
Grat, open door wide.
Okay.
I'm going to go in with Aldemar. Yeah, with Grot. Aldemar is going to go in with Grot.
What do you want to do?
Talking about Bob's suit.
Jesus Christ.
Duncan, what would you like to do?
I'm following the rest of the group in.
Okay. Gray is going to sit over here. Diaz can go on this side. Rothas will be over here, and Lupo can come up, bring up the rear. Okay. Let's go with Aldemar. What are you doing? You move in through the door. Grot has pushed in. You notice that there is a low burning candle on this table over here. Looks as if the wax is sort of run onto the table, but that's about it. Just as soon as you walk in the door, that's what you notice.
I have a torch with me. Is there a torch anywhere?
You do, but you can light it if you'd like. You haven't needed it up until now, really.
Yeah, I'm going to light the torch.
Okay, so you start lighting the torch. Grot, you are up next. What did you want to do since you pushed yourself in?
I'm gonna Grat check under beds, make sure there's no weirdness.
Okay, so you're looking under the beds.
Yeah. And
Duncan, what are you doing?
I'll look around the table, see if there's anything unusual there.
Okay. Grot, roll me a d20. Blodgett, roll me a d20.
I use the spectral fire die. Fuck, 20.
20.
20? Yeah, I blew a crit.
Okay, I blew a crit.
I blew
Okay,
a crit.
Blodgett, roll me a d20.
I rolled a 12.
A 12. Okay.
That's better.
You're sort of fooling around with the bed sheets there.
Yeah, trying to feel them, feel if there's any warmth,
Feel.
smell if it smells like wet dog, like a werewolf was sleeping here.
I
I heard a rumor they smell like wet dog when they sleep.
There, it's someone was sleeping in this, but you can't tell how long ago. Grot, you also notice that the bed that you are sort of underneath also is. He's not a Jordan Peterson fan. He hasn't made the bed, so
these assholes.
Yeah, but you do notice that there is quite a bit of dust underneath the bed.
Out of what?
Dust underneath the bed.
Okay.
And you notice that there is some hair on the floor of the bed as well. But it
Do I recognize the hair?
Could be Benny too. So
Benny could be shedding. He's molting.
It's kind of blackish hair. So
okay.
But it's not like somebody's been like shaving or something.
nobody's shaving their nuts over here.
Yeah.
All right.
Duncan, you don't notice anything strange about the table except for there's it looks as if there's some markings in the wood of the table. As if like maybe somebody had stabbed it with a knife or like sort of like carving or sort of like, kind of hitting it, little nicks out of it a little bit. Other than that, the only thing that's there is the candle that is still burning, but it's almost about to go out because the wax is melted like so far down into the wick that it's almost done. And so that's from where you are. Duncan, if you want to tell me anything in particular you want to do, feel free. Blodgett, you also notice that there's it's a little bit of hair in the bed, and there's also hair and dust under the bed.
Okay.
And it looks like sort of black hair of some sorts.
Okay.
Aldemar, what are you doing? You've just got your torches now lit, and the room is starting to brighten up a bit.
I don't have to roll for perception this time, do I?
You don't have to roll for perception. You can just tell me what you're going to do. Tell you if you die or not.
Yeah. I'm going to continue walking through the room with the torch.
Okay.
And just kind of holding it around to get a better view. Like, what am I seeing? Am I seeing?
Now that you have the torch out, you can see. Actually, let me give you a little bit more over here.
I know the candle's been burning. It probably has been burning for a while, so somebody was there.
Just about out, yeah.
Battled.
So over here, the only thing that you're seeing that's a little bit different than anything else is a bit over here. And we'll give you the rest of the room, which is just about like so. It's a fairly large room. And in your now torchlight, you can see the other bed across over here. It also looks as if it has not been made, but again, you don't know if that's unusual or not. But
I'm gonna go up to it.
They're not much nicer beds than any of the ones in the Goblin or Hobgoblin barracks that you've seen thus far. So go ahead.
I'm gonna go up to the bed and I'm gonna just start rummaging through it.
Okay. Let's see. So you also come across more dust and hair on the floor. I do need you to roll me a d20 though, because you are a special case.
In the bib and diaper kind of way?
Yes. Aldemar, roll me a d20, brother man.
All right.
Wake up.
I'm here. I rolled a 3.
You rolled a 3. Okay. Well, you see that it's hair. It looks very similar to the hair of the wolves or the wargs, I should say, that you saw in the larger room from back about 3 sessions ago. The wolves and the riders and stuff. So it could be warg hair, could be wolf hair, could be dog hair, but it's definitely something canine. Very kind of gives you the feeling that maybe it was warg hair, because you're a ranger and you're the only one that knows this. So if you want to keep that to yourself, or you can tell the others if you'd like.
I guess what's the significance of that?
Well, we know there are werewolves about, so that might be kind of important, TJ.
Okay. I'm just like, why would I guess I'm wondering why I would keep that to myself.
Well, yeah, there isn't a reason I can think of, but I'm not going to tell you how to play your character.
I don't know how chaotic you're feeling today.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Right. I'm still learning.
There's players knowledge and there's character knowledge.
Right. So I'm gonna turn around and say, "There's werewolves here."
Okay.
Yeah, and very messy, dusty werewolves.
Do I have any weapon that has any silver of any kind?
Has to be magic or silver.
Yeah, exactly.
Check your sheet. You have 8 plus 2 arrows. That's the extent of your magic weapons at this point.
Okay.
I've got my
Although you do have that soul ring on, so just saying, be careful.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull out my sword, my long sword, and just have it at my side.
Okay.
And
you've drawn your sword.
I'm just listening for any kind of sign of their.
You have a torch in one hand and a sword in the other.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Grot, what do you want to do?
Grat tired of this room. Grat Grat motioned to Blodgett and Diaz and say, let's go to other door with maybe some things to kill over here.
I agree with that.
Where are the things?
We're Grat need blood.
Okay, Blodgett, you're right here.
Duncan's getting antsy.
The extent of this room is basically the bit where you're at, from where you're at right now, the extent of the bed right now is just dust underneath it, a bit of hair around it. The beds are unkempt.
Mm-hmm.
There is no, oddly enough, there's no ale, there's no cups or anything on the table. And up to this point, anyways, from this bed, when you're looking under it, there's no like personal effects or anything like that. There's no chests. There's no like foot lockers. There's no clothes to see anywhere from where you're at on this bed, anyways.
All right, I will sheathe one of my silver daggers and pull out my magic dancing short sword, and if we're pretty much done scoping out this room, I'll kind of move along the walls just to make sure there isn't like a secret door these guys would have went out that made us not notice them if they left while we were either in one of the other rooms or in the hallways. And then I'll ask Rod, it's like, okay, do you want to go across the hall and see if there's something over there you can kill?
Yes, let's go. Let's Grat and Benjamin feeling antsy.
Okay. All right, then once I've kind of checked and I'm fairly confident there's not a secret passage, at least on the 2 walls. Obviously, I know that there's a room right below that, but I'll head across the hallway and check that door to see if it is locked.
Over here?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can go over there, and so that'll end your move. Let me put Rothos over here.
Quick question: have we missed one of the rooms in this hallway?
You have checked. Let's see those. I left them a little bit dark so you can see where they were.
Right. Did Rothos tell us what?
The only other door that was over here that Lupo explored, but you guys went up to this. So yeah,
probably go down there next.
Okay.
So you're right there, Duncan. What are you doing?
Don't forget Grat next to Plaza, not Gray.
Oh, my bad. Well, Gray is over there too. So. Duncan, what are you doing? Duncan.
Oh, he had to step out.
He
said he was getting kind of antsy as well, so I assume he would follow me.
Okay.
And DS is following me as well, and now Damar as well.
All right.
So we're all huddled in this hallway, waiting for Blodgett, the small man, to check out room.
Okay. All right. DS pokes his head in, just sort of looks around a bit, and then sort of sees you guys leaving out. So he goes back.
We don't hear anything from the south, do we?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Nothing thus far.
that good news.
Okay, so Blodgett, you can see that this door here also has a lock on it, but the door is unlocked, similar to the one that was across from you. However, you do notice that there is definitely some light coming from underneath this one. And there's definitely no trap on it or anything like that. So, what do you do, Robert?
Blodgett.
Do we lose Robert?
No, you did not lose me. I will share that information with Grot and ask him, do you just want me to slowly open the door and take a look? Or do you want me to throw it open and you go in and kill what's ever in there?
Do what you did with other doors. We're open slowly, but Grot will have two-handed magic sword ready to go.
All right. I will sheathe one of my daggers so that I have a hand that is completely free to use. In my primary hand, I will have my magic sword at my side. That way, if I need to use it, I can, but I'm going to have it at my side so it's kind of hidden, so I don't necessarily go into the room looking threatening, and will attempt to slowly, quietly open the door and peer in and see what I can see. And if I don't see anything that's obviously dangerous, I will attempt to slide in so I can get a better look at the room. And then if I see anything that's obviously threatening, like bugbears or something, I will push that door full open and yell for Grot. Otherwise, if no one notices me, I'll just kind of check it out and back out into the hallway and let Grot know what I saw.
Okay. So you basically push the door similar to what you did just a moment ago, correct? Okay. And you can see that it's a very well lit room. There is a lantern of some kind on a far desk. This is about as far as you can see, but there's also a burning brazier that's in the center of the room as well. There seems to be, as you can, now that you open the door, you can smell what smells like maybe like some kind of like cooking meat.
Okay.
But like not like a big, it's not a kitchen per se, but like there's something that's on that brazier that's in the middle of the room that's providing all the light there. And you can see what looks like a figure or a man of some sorts that is at this table here. And he is sitting in this chair right here.
Mm-hmm.
As you look in, because like I said, it's very well lit. And let's see. Where's the guy? Where's our dude? There's our dude. No, that's not him. Hold on. This guy. There we go. All right. Here is this. You can see a guy, and he is sitting at the desk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where'd he go? There we are. And he's seems to be writing or poring over some documents of some kind. There's a chest that is also sitting on the desk as well. And he's what looks like he's writing something. Has not noticed you just yet, at least as far as you can tell, he hasn't noticed you. But he seems very sort of intent on. He's sort of staring at these. He's got a quill, like an ink quill, and he's writing the thing, writing something. But that's about the best you can see from where you're at. But there's definitely a light source that's in here, which is the main source, which is a brazier. On the desk itself, there is also it looks like a lantern of some sort that's sitting there. So he has some extra light to do whatever it is that he's doing. He's writing some things. He's got an ink pen and quill. There's a coffer of some sorts there. Most likely there's money in it. It looks very similar to the one that you guys were just taking grips of money out of a little while ago. So there is that, but hasn't seemed to notice you just yet.
Okay, I will slide back out the door as quietly as possible and share that information with Grot and Duncan and Gray and Aldemar, that it looks like some heavy metal dude sitting at a table writing the fifth volume of the Rational Mail.
Yes.
And
working diligently on it.
Yeah.
Like me.
Okay, absolutely. Well, if we'll leave that one alone. So, can Grot take an action now?
Yeah.
Do we have like a surprise action?
You can take an action.
I was gonna just blast open the door and say, "Put that down."
Is that what you want to do?
That's exactly what I'm doing.
All right.
Grant just like just blast the door open. Put that down. I have my sword drawn.
So you come in there, sword drawn, blasting through the door, and
put that down.
Rest of your.
And I'm pointing my sword at him.
Put the cookie down! No!
Put it down. It's not the Tuma. This is not the Lending Library.
All right, so almost as if he expects you coming there, you kick in the door and you say, "Put that down." He doesn't startle at all when you kind of blow in through the door, and he's like, just a moment. He says, "You mercenary." He says, "You mercenaries, always making a big deal."
Hang on. All right. So I look kind of crestfallen, and I look over at Benny, and I look back at the scribe. I look back over the scribe, and then I just ask him, "What are you doing?"
He says, "Just take a seat over there. You'll pay. I'll be with you in a moment. I've got to finish this work first." And he looks up. He kind of finally looks up at you from he's expecting you to come through the door.
So I'm gonna.
He says, "Just a moment." He says, and he kind of looks up at you a bit, and he goes, "Oh," he says, "Are you one of the big ones? Are you here for? Are you a mercenary, or are you here for slaves?"
Both actually. I'm on double duty.
Okay. And he goes back down to, he starts looking at his ledger a bit more and looks at you. He looks at the door, and since you blasted open the door, he can now see Blodgett, Gray, and a little bit of Duncan right there out in the hallway. He says, tell your compatriots to come in. They can wait too.
Fellow adventurers, come in. We need to get paid. Come in. Friend scribe here, pay us.
What before we move, Rollo, was I able to hear that conversation?
Exchange?
Yeah, you can hear a bit of it. Yeah, I mean, you can hear he's definitely talking to Grot, and Grot is kind of like sort of stopped in his tracks there because he wasn't startled whatsoever.
Okay. I've expected it,
but
he was almost expecting you guys to sort of blow in.
All right, I point to Diaz and Rothas and Lupo and give them the hands up, like stay here. And to Gray, Duncan, and Aldemar, I'm like, play it cool. I think he thinks we're bad guys, so we're slavers and mercenaries. So act the part.
Yep.
And then we'll we'll kind of slink in like
Come
this
over
is a
near
big
Grat.
imposition, but
Mhm.
we're waiting for our pay and stuff.
So are you gonna?
Yeah, we'll go
Sure.
in.
Everyone else? Okay. All right. So are you gonna go in as well?
Duncan is going in.
Okay. Duncan's going in.
When Grat gets a chance, he's going to ask the scribe about Marquesa.
All right. Let me get it. Eldamar, what are you doing? You see all this happening across the hallway here.
I'm assuming it's completely lit in that room.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So
Completely.
I'm gonna put out my torch so I don't waste any of the fuel.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna keep my sword at my side. It's not gonna be held up in a threatening way, but just making it clear that I got my weapon.
Okay.
I'm going inside. Going in.
You doing it live?
That's the rumor.
And let's see. Let's put Gray in as well. Gray can be across the table. He's basically he looks like he's writing something, and he's like, is that all of you? He says, are you here to purchase or are you here to get paid?
Paid.
Both actually, and we need to. Grat say, we need to talk to Marquesa. Where can we find?
All right. So
find
the moment you say the name Marquesa, he lifts up and looks at you and kind of raises an eyebrow. He says, He says, did she hire you?
Yes, we old friends. We go way back.
We don't. I raise my hand and say, we don't. I just want my pay.
Okay.
Grat crushed everyone in this room, so not worried.
All right. So as soon as Diaz comes in and Rothos comes in, and he sees that they are, well, he certainly sees Rothos as
Does
an elf.
Lupo poke the lamp into like like hey you doing?
Yeah. In fact, I'll move. Yeah. Move him into.
Like crowd
well.
this fucking dickhead.
So much for doing this clever.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know if Marquesa is a faction, because we know that there's some weird factions in here. If he's part of it or not, so this will actually ferret that out, because we need to destroy her anyway. That was part of the deal.
Oh yeah, we're going to destroy all of them, but I would rather have gotten more information out of him before possibly.
Well, this is the fun.
antagonizing
This is the fun way to do it. There.
All right.
Yes, there's the halfling with 16 intelligent way of doing it, and there's Grot, the half orc with two way of doing it. So there we go.
I got 10. I got 10.
Let's go here. So this room appears to be some kind of an office or quarters. Okay, obviously you can see of an officer of some sorts. It's very well appointed. Okay, the table here is very, very nice. So this guy is clearly somebody who is in charge of something. Okay. Seated at the desk here is the man is. You notice now that he's very tall. Probably tall, just about touching the same height as Grot. Okay. Sitting there, and let's see. He seems kind of thin, very kind of not necessarily gaunt, but like kind of thin. His skin is sort of an ashen gray. He has kind of sunken eyes, and he's definitely has a bald head. Okay. He is rubbing his long, bony hands together nervously as he's counting stacks of coins in his desk. And again, he seems kind of unperturbed by you guys, like as if he's expecting you to come to either get paid or to purchase. Those are the two things that he's talked about up to this point. So, he looks around at you and he says, "Is this the whole party?" He's kind of looking at you. And then when you say you want to know about Marquesa, I was like, "What did you say, Grat, exactly?"
Grat say, "We're Marquesa. We old friends. Catch up with Marquesa."
Okay, so he asks you, "Did she hire you?" And he says that looking at you, but he's also kind of turns and directs it towards Rothos and Diaz as well.
Well, I will answer for Grat's self. Marquesa has hired Grat in past. I'm here on other business, mercenary type business. And Badger, Benjamin, we here to. So.
Okay, he looks a bit surprised at me as he's there, and hold on, roll me a d20 real quick, Grat.
Sure. Use the red one again. God, you son of a bitch! Another 20.
Okay. Where's the battery?
God damn it!
So as you roll that in a moment.
Save him for attack. Grot, save him for attack.
Blew off. I just blew my load for attack dice.
Okay, so as soon as Benny kind of pokes his head out of the backpack, since you rolled a 20, it looks like he's a little fidgety and he's kind of sniffing the air a little bit.
I'm gonna feed him a piece of beef jerky.
Okay, Blodgett, what are you doing? Robert,
I am just kind of standing there looking around and trying to look tough.
4 foot, 3 foot nothing, tough guy.
Yeah, I'm trying to look. I'm trying to look like
Like
I don't care about human beings or anything else. I'm just looking to get quick coin. I don't care whose back I have to stab to do it. I'm just trying to look like a bad guy. As much as a little floofy blonde-haired 3 foot thing can look like a bad guy.
Duncan, right next to you, there's a bench right here. It's a fairly long bench, about 10 feet, maybe 12 feet long right here. It looks like it's like where people have been waiting, like a waiting bench of some sorts.
Right. Well, I'm going to take a seat and be casual. Like nothing about this is not normal to me.
Okay. Diaz sits next to you and tries to do the same thing. Aldemar, what are you doing?
Perception.
Screw you guys! I'm going home. So there's the bed over there by Grot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna inspect the bed. I'm gonna try and do it. So, like I'm gonna try and not make it seem like I'm looking or
casually, like kind of.
Oh, this is nice cloth.
Sit on it.
It's 100 count.
He made his bed. He did what George wanted.
It breathes like Egyptian cotton.
It's Egyptian cotton. This is silk.
Okay, so you're moving over here just to sort of like maybe get kind of like look over your shoulder at the bed there. So the fella that's behind the desk now, he pushes a back on the chair a little bit just to sort of get an idea. He's kind of looking around you. He says, "I don't know how to pay you." He says, "Are you here for? Did Marquesa pay you? Are you working for her, or are you here to purchase, or what exactly is your function here?" He's very cordial, but he's kind of like I said. He the more you look at him, he looks a little bit like not necessarily old, but gaunt, like tall and gaunt, almost like Lurch from the Addams Family.
Yeah. All right. So Gratze Marquesa hired us to guard caravans, slave caravans, into and out of this slave compound.
Okay. Do you want to add anything to what Grat's saying?
We need to get paid.
Yeah, we brought some people here. We killed some people that were nosing around where they weren't supposed to. We brought her some information on what the law is doing.
We slaughtered some of your own people, you know.
Yeah. We stole some people. We killed some people. We were just told that we were entitled to a bonus for some stuff that we had done.
So when you say the word bonus, he says, I see. He says, so Marquesa hired you to do some of her dirty work.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good word for what we do.
I see.
Yeah. Dirty deeds done dirt cheap. What?
Badger need food for
Aldemar, as you're kind of trying to inspect the room here, I will give you a quick rundown of the room since you're the one that seems to be like not out of the conversation here. Okay. All right, so you can see that the room has a desk. There's the chair. There is a wardrobe over here, as you can see. And let's see. There are 2 stools next to that. There's the bed. You already seen that. There is on top of the wardrobe / bookshelf that's right next to, like right behind him. Well, you already know that you can see where the brazier is. That's right there. And it's actually giving off a bit of heat. And so it seems like he likes to be warm because seems to be very thin. And let's see. Oh, okay. So, here we go. Right about here, where the wardrobe is, the only thing that you see, Aldemar, and you notice this because you're the ranger, and nobody else has kind of picked up on this just yet, is there seems to be some kind of potted plant that is hanging from a chain behind him, right about over here. And let's see. Yeah, the plant looks a little because Aldemar, because you're a ranger, you don't even need to roll for this. The plant is yellow and green, and it has flowers on it, of all things. And the flowers look like different kinds of like tufts of hair, almost like dandelions almost. And
hair, fur.
What's that?
Like fur, like a.
Well, kind of like think of it like a dandelion kind of thing. In fact, it almost looks like a weed. But they're
in the South Forest.
Yes, it's a weed. And so that's the only thing that kind of looks strange to you, considering that you're underground and there's no light for a plant like a potted plant to really thrive down here. So there's got to be some way that the plant is getting light or of some way, anyways. But it seems a little odd to you, being underground and all, because remember, you guys are on the lower levels here, or the lower levels, only one. So he looks up at you when you mention Marquesa, and he says, exactly who, what did she promise you as far as a bonus is concerned? I'm really how to qualify this or how to record this.
Not sure, but it was in gold, and for each of us in large quantities. She said you'd have that written down for mercenary payments.
Oh, okay. Well, and he says, and you were saying you were part of a caravan? And he looks a little bit confused at you.
Yeah, but that caravan caught fire way back when.
I think I recall her saying something about that.
Yeah, but we accidentally set it on fire.
Well, accidents do happen.
They do, especially with this group. But this good group, as you can see, this good group.
Okay. About this time, you hear some kind of commotion going on outside in the hallway.
Oh shit! What did you do, Lupo?
And Lupo's out there, and as he hasn't screamed or anything like that, but it seems to be that there's some other people outside in the hallway now.
Shut door.
Right. Well, shut the door on him. Good idea. Let me see if I can grab these guys up. That's not those. It is it these guys? It's these guys.
This is not strategic position to be fighting in.
All right. So, well, 1 second here.
Definitely no shoot fireball.
Yeah. Here somewhere.
Grat have to pee.
Wait, that's the party. Hold on 1 second. Gotta close that up. So, these guys. Oh, that's from the other one. I have all these like tokens from the other encounters that are sitting here.
There's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Grab these ashes.
What the fuck?
Top. Can I grab them now? There they go.
So you're gonna have to put on the battle music.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Oh my God. Oh, that's why I can't see them. My bad. They need to come up on top. There we are. There. All right. So, from out of this room
Oh shit! What?
come like some humans here, and they're not. One of them is in chainmail. There's like a chainmail shirt, but the others seem to be in some sort of like they look like they may perhaps they're merchants.
Three of them.
And three of them, one comes into the room, and the other comes around this way, and Lupo just kind of stands to one side, and Rothos and Diaz can see that they came out of this room right here. That's why Lupo's a little bit surprised, and he's trying to play along with everything else. But they look like regular humans. One of them's bald they look pretty close to. I tried to get the as possibly could here. And one's in chainmail. The other two they're in normal clothing of some sort, but they have. They look like they're merchants, maybe, or maybe even mercenaries as well. And then the tall, gaunt fellow that's on the opposite side there says, more people, more of you. Sit down, take a number. And he kind of looks at them for a moment and he nods. He says, take a moment. Everybody will get paid. Everyone will get paid. And so the humans that walk into the room, they kind of look around at both of you, and then there's a third one that's in the outside here, and they look as if they have come to be paid as well. And so he's looking around, and so the tall, gaunt fellow that's sitting behind the desk now kind of pushes away and stands up, and he looks as if he is about your height. He's pretty close. He's like, what's your height? You're at least like 6'5".
I'm only 6'2".
6'2". He's about your same height, maybe an inch taller than you, but very, very thin, very gaunt. And you can definitely see he has he's got a bit of a grayish kind of pallor to him, but still looks fairly human to you. And so he looks at you and he says, so are you working for Marquesa, or are you working with Marquesa?
Someone say that argue of semantics, but when it comes to getting paid, whatever gets us paid most money, you decide.
Okay, Blodgett, roll me a d20, you as well, and I've got to roll for both classes. Yeah, everybody.
All right.
I rolled an 11.
Okay.
I rolled a 2 this time.
Okay, Aldemar, I need you to roll me one as well.
I rolled a 13.
13. Okay.
Lucky 13.
And Duncan.
17.
17. Duncan, at the mention of Marquesa's name, you notice, and no one else does, only you notice that the expression on the face of the guy closest to you over here raises an eyebrow.
Okay.
So he looks a little uneasy at the mention of Marquesa's name.
I want to keep an eye on his hands.
Okay. He's completely unarmed. No, not even a dagger on the guy.
That's weird.
And he looks, like I said, he looks like a merchant. He does have a bag, a small pouch around in a belt, but that's about it. And the fellow that's next to him, same thing. He's dressed as a merchant and the clothes look pretty well kempt. The fellow behind here is the one with the chainmail shirt, but again, it doesn't look like he's armed either.
Werewolves don't need to be armed.
Right. They're close with your arms.
Mm-hmm.
The only good werewolf is a dead werewolf.
Well, you have to kill you, son of a bitch.
All right.
So
I still have my short sword out at my side, kind of behind my leg in my primary hand. But
Oh, do you?
when I'm confident that no one's like looking at me, I also in my offhand will draw one of my silver daggers and just have that kind of resting behind my back, like nonchalant up against the wall, like do-de do. It's getting too crowded with guys that even if they're not werewolves, I know they're bad guys. So I just want to be ready to spring and sneak attack if I have to. But right now I'm trying to appear as nonchalant but still tough as I can.
Again, the tall gaunt fellow says, "Are you working for Marquesa or with Marquesa?"
Grad already answered that.
And what did you say?
I said it depends on what we arguing semantics here. Grat not very smart, but depending upon how much money you give us, we'll
now his tone kind of changes a little bit. He says, "Well, I'll need to know in order to pay you."
We work with Marquesa.
And when you say with Marquesa, that's when he suddenly polymorphs.
What the fuck?
Into
shape of an ice
where
dildo.
did he go? He polymorphs into. Damn it!
Grat say magic word.
Into Blackthorn.
What? That's fucking cock.
And right before your eyes, his demeanor changes and his body changes, and now you're looking at what looks like an ogre that is now suddenly about 8 feet, almost 9 feet tall, from behind the chair, and
Grat hide under bed.
And at this point, the humans that came into the room they kind of take a defensive posture, but the ogre from behind, this ogre here now looks as if he's in very finely made clothes, like very silk clothes. And he hasn't taken an attack posture to you just yet, but he's come up and he says, "I see." And he looks to the humans that are in the doorway right now, and it looks as if they were about to in some way make a move, but he holds them off for a moment. And he says, "So now, do you work with Marquesa or do you work for Marquesa?" He asks you the same question again.
What difference does it make?
He says, "Oh, my friend, it makes all the difference in the world."
Well, there's how many of us and how many of you, so how do you want to play this?
Aldemar, you up front, so you're going to take big attack, so hang on a second. So
I say we work for whoever's willing to pay us the most.
Exactly.
Hey, we do the job, we get paid. That's how it works.
We have sword will travel.
Okay, so he looks at Rothos, he looks at Gray, he looks at Duncan. Duncan, what are you doing? You're still sitting here just kicking back with your legs crossed.
Smoking a cigar.
I'm sitting back there and I say, "I work for you, big man. You tell me." Okay. He looks at you. He looks at all of you, and he says,
Says, would you like to be useful or would you like to be dead?
Yo, mama.
Useful to who?
Useful is always good. We look for good payday. Like I said, have sword will travel.
So he looks around at you two, and again the humans that are here in the doorway look as if they're taking sort of a defensive posture, but they're kind of taking their cues from the ogre.
All right,
and
so
he introduces himself now. He says, I'm Blackthorn, and I'm the overseer as such of this facility.
Lovely.
He says, I need to know, are you team players?
Well met, Blackthorn. My name Grat. I caravan.
He says, I know who you are.
Well, that's fantastic.
This Grat, your reputation precedes you. Or should I say, there's a very hefty price on your head, and I'm not sure you're even aware of that now, are you?
Grat heard
very eloquent for an ogre too. He's not like he's not a dumb shit, and you can tell that this guy. He's
David over here.
What's that? Yeah.
Does it? Wait a minute. Is he wearing a cravat?
No, but
He's petting a cat.
Yes, an accent, yes. No, he's not the Aaron Clary of ogres.
All right, so this is a cravatless ogre.
Yes.
He says, "Well, you very finely dressed. You obviously in charge of this facility. Grat not very smart. What question again?"
He says, would you like to be useful or would you like to be dead? And I know who you are.
There was other question after that about reputation.
No, he said he knows who you are. He's aware of you, and he says your reputation precedes you. There is a price on and a bounty on your head. I'm not sure if you're aware of that.
Grat know that kind of paltry for what Grat actually can do. So that's you may find out if you play cards right. So. Grat's a company, and I encompass all with a sweep of my clawed hand. That Grat and company like to be useful, and Benjamin too. Benjamin and Badger. So we like to be useful. So what do you have in mind?
He says, as I said, I am the overseer of this facility. And when he says overseer, he glances at the three humans that are in the doorway right now. Lupo, by the way, is kind of shaking in his boots outside, but none of you really know that.
Lupo is not stupid. He should be.
He's a very smart 15-year-old boy. So Duncan, you're just basically kind of kicking it there. And then he says, and then he turns his attention to you, Aldemar, and looks at you can see that he's glancing at your soul ring that's on your hand.
Oh God.
And he says, why don't you have a seat? He says, it's a very expensive bed. It's very comfortable as well. Like he's known that he's been watching you as well. So, TJ, do you want to say anything to him? He's basically saying, like, do you guys want to be useful? Like, how's this going to go down? You want to be useful? So he basically he explains to you in an eloquent way. He's the overseer of this facility.
David Niven of ogres.
He is here to keep an eye on Marquesa. And he says, well, we have some problems with Marquesa, and if you are cooperative, there might be some money in it for you. If you're willing to, you're mercenaries. You're responsible for, I don't know, how many people did you say?
Check the deal.
And he looks at Blodgett and says, and how many people did you say you happened to kill and set fire to a caravan of ours?
Well, I wouldn't know. I wasn't actually playing at that point in time.
Good answer.
Which is true. It's like,
whatever are you talking about?
I kind of joined up a little bit later, and yeah, we would definitely like
These
to
guys, I don't know who these guys
are.
Grat
Never
not
seen them
good.
before in my life.
Grat not
no.
good with firing arrows.
Yeah. I'm like, it sounds like you have a problem with the Marquesas management style and would like to perhaps see a change at that level. And you would like maybe for us to help you to facilitate that, since you seem
Elect
to
women
be
get
under the impression that we've been
You know,
facilitating damage
see,
for a
this is
while
why
now.
this is why I need Drew to be in this game right now, because you know he would have fucked all this up by now.
yeah, he would have completely messed this
absolutely.
fucking. This would be a shit show by now.
He would see a pair of ogre balls that needed. So, yes.
Anyways, so Rothos and Diaz are very aware. In fact, they have been sent here to actually bring Marquesa back
Mhm.
to the Elven Council. So, other than the fact that, let's see, I don't know what is Diaz's alignment is, but I do know that Rothos is chaotic good. So, other than that, you guys have been able to play this off for a moment, but essentially what he's explaining to you is that he wants to essentially eliminate Marquesa and sort of take over.
Mhm.
The slave lords are unhappy with her, let's just say, unsavory experiments. She's ruining interesting. She's ruining some of our best stock right now, and we really need to find some way to eliminate her, or to at least find a way to let's just say limit her abilities to continue with her experiments.
How much?
Oh well, what? Name your price. What would you like? Would you like slaves? We have plenty of those. We can certainly pay you in slaves.
Oh, slaves.
So he
I wouldn't mind a few of the pretty ones.
He says, essentially, we can do it this way. If you'd like to go, if you would like me to tell you where she is, I can point you in the right direction. However, if that's not something that's amenable to you, well then, I believe we're at an impasse.
No, we need to.
I want gold. No,
I want two of the pretty ones.
Gold and find. We need to find Marquesa.
gold doesn't need to be fed.
Would you like to discuss it among yourselves?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, can you leave room?
Can I leave the room? No. Essentially, he says, I believe that you'll come to the right decision. He says, but I really need people with your particular talents. And he looks at Rothos, and he looks at Aldemar when he says particular talents.
Interesting.
Huh.
Ranger and magic user.
Magic missile.
Magic missile.
Spirit magic helmet.
Spirit magic helmet.
So-
Brunhilde, you're so welcome.
He says, if you'd like, I can have one of my associates here lead you on towards where you can find her.
So
Yes, Bia, actually, that was my initial question to begin with, and you're not paying attention, which make Grat angry.
Hmm. Yes, I've heard about the infamous anger of Grot,
Yes.
the
Don't
brave,
make me,
Grot the bold.
you have to, you have
don't
to
make
give
me,
the
don't make me
half-bleed.
roll my bear on you.
Benny now has kind of tucked himself back into the backpack, by the way.
I'm gonna. So I'm right next to Grot, so I'm gonna put a hand on Grot and say, "Listen, half breed, we need to chat."
Feel free.
right.
Feel free to chat.
So I'm gonna turn with my back.
Huddle up.
towards-
Huddle up.
Yeah, we're huddling up. What play are we gonna do? Okay. My thought is, I want gold. I don't want human lives, obviously. What are you guys thinking?
Well, you're
Well-
a ranger, so you're fairly good aligned for the
Yeah.
most part. So, Grat not smart, so small Blodgett friend. We follow his lead.
Well, it's like this. We can either fight this guy and these three guys that are probably werewolves now, and then we've still got to schlep somewhere and find Marquesa and take her out. Or we let this Joker send one of his minions, take us straight to Marquesa, and then we've got to take her out right then and there, which while we're doing that, this guy, who's an ogre, who is probably some evil alignment, will be gathering guys to kill us.
Gray definitely knows he's lawful evil. Trust me.
Okay. Well, so it's like
You're
this.
basically looking at an ogre mage, is what you're looking at.
Yeah. So we either fight this guy and the werewolves now, and then we've still got to find Marquesa, or we try to fool this guy into thinking we're going along with it, knowing he's going to try and spring a trap on us later, deal with Marquesa now, and then we'll probably end up still having to deal with these guys and maybe more people, maybe not. I don't know how many other people are still alive in this.
I say we pretend to go after this gal. He's going to send one of his werewolves with us. We kill him, and then we come back for the rest of them.
So he explains to you while you guys are muttering amongst yourself. He says, I would do this myself, but I have to keep my hands clean in this whole operation. He says, personally, I'm appalled by her experiments. I can't believe anyone would have allowed this in the first place, and I don't like the way she runs this place. But I can't really do anything because my superiors would be a bit, let's just say, angry with me if I were to lay hands on her or to do anything myself. So I very much need someone such as yourselves to I don't know, perform a service for us.
Supervisors are going to be angry with you. How are they going to feel about us doing it?
Oh, they won't know I have anything to do with it.
Well, it works out well for you, but what experiment is she doing?
You guys already, well. Okay, so actually, when you say that, Blodgett roll D20, Aldemar roll D20, Duncan roll D20. I'll roll for the other guys. Oh, well.
17.
18.
Okay, so that's good enough. Before that even comes out of your mouth, Grat, you remember that you've run into on the upper levels. You ran into what seemed like some sort of aberrations or some kind of mutant elves with that could seem like they could go invisible. They could teleport, and they had those prehensile tails as well.
What about that, like weird monkey-like things?
Yeah, that, and also to the. Much to you get a shiver down your spine when you think about it, but let's not forget the slaves that were in the cloakers room. That was also in the upper levels as well. So then it occurs to you that perhaps those might have been some unsavory experiments.
Yeah,
that not good. Never mind. Grat, remember.
And had Rothos not fireballed some of the slaves on the torture devices in that other room, perhaps you might have encountered some.
More information, too.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Guys, it's a matter of, do you guys want to fight now and fight this guy now, or do you want to go fight the Marquesa now and then have to deal with this guy and possibly more hobgoblins?
Actually, he doubts her abilities to run this facility, and he would be overstepping his authority if he were to go take direct action.
Grat good with tactics, but this might be good time to attack in here because it close quarters. But we have weak bastards in group that might die.
He doesn't seem very, let's say, he doesn't have a poker face, put it that way. He doesn't seem too concerned with you as far as your abilities to like overpower them or whatever. He's actually very casual. Like he already knows what you guys are going to say. Like he's already understands. Like he's been able to read most of you since he walked into the room.
All right.
Who knows? Well, so far be it from me to
Great.
How about we just demand money? We get paid up front, and then tell them to get lost, and we'll go do it. But we get paid.
Sure. Says what would you like? What would you like as your let's see, retainer?
I want gold. I don't want humans. I don't want slaves. I don't want
Gold. Oh well, he just simply goes and picks up the coffer that he had on the table here. He says, "How I've got about gold pieces right here.
How much is it?
800 right here."
I pick it up and I show it to the others and say,
He hands it to you just casually.
Yeah.
And he towers over you, by the way, when he does so.
And he only needs one hand to toss it to you.
Yes.
And you need two to hold it.
Towers for you. I mean,
Yeah.
like close to, like, now you realize his full height is somewhere between like 8.5 to 9 feet tall.
Grat's still stronger than him with my magic helmet on.
That's a helmet.
Magic helmet.
Hey, we got the money. Let's go. We got to take care of this wench anyways. Let's just take care of her with the money.
So Grot, when he's handing the coffer of 800 gold pieces, he looks at your breastplate that you took from what's his face, the other slave lord up,
The blind
guy.
Yeah, the blind one. Executioner. I think that's what it is. Well,
Yeah.
he looks at you and he kind of nods at you, like he recognizes the
prowess.
He's almost like it's almost like he's not hostile whatsoever.
All right, I nod back to him like that's right.
He kind of nods at you a little, like kind of gives you a knowing kind of nod.
I nod back. We take commission and we send.
Says there'll be more. He says there'll be more later when you finish the job, or whatever you'd like to do. But he says I have particular items that you might be interested in. He says we can come to an acceptable arrangement, but just consider this a retainership. And he gives it to Aldemar.
This good news. Do you have a potion of healing? Grat not feeling well.
So that might take a bit of time to procure, but you might try the doorway at the end of the hall here.
Ah, okay.
Implying that he says you might try the that little rat's room, whatever his name was.
That gnome thing.
He says, I believe that's what he was. Was he a gnome? He looks over at the humans in the doorway there, and they're just kind of snicker a little bit. One of them's like,
Narzi.
Yes, I believe that's what his name was.
These three humans smell bad.
He's deplorable little creature.
Yes. All right. So I encompass with my clawed hand. Everyone. We take retainer, and you send us with runner down, and we find Marquesa.
Well, this is my associates. Will be happy to lead you down to where she is right now. She's not very far.
All right. That acceptable. Is that acceptable to the rest of the party?
Yeah, if that's what you guys want to do.
Good with that.
All right. So he comes over to you, Grot, and he is taller than you, and he extends his hand to shake your hand. He says, "Do we have a deal then, my new friends?"
Grat reluctantly, but he shakes his hand.
Right. He shakes your hand. He says, "Excellent." He says, "My compatriots here will be happy to escort you to where her laboratory is."
Laboratory. Gotta Frankenstein this up.
He says, but be warned. Her experiments are just heinous.
That doesn't sound good, but we big adventurers. We be okay.
All right. So with that, he shakes your hand. He looks at all of you. He says, and then he says something to the fellows here in the hallway. And it sounds like it could be, let's see, who would know? Aldemar, roll me a d20. Well, Blodgett too. You guys roll me a d20.
Okay.
Pratt wouldn't know this and Duncan wouldn't know this.
16.
16 as well.
Okay. Not enough for you, Ranger Rick, but because Blodgett can like read languages and stuff like that. it sounds like it's an alignment tongue of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
And so they nod at him, and they're looking at you like, are you like, are you guys ready to go? And at that point, Blackthorn turns gaseous and turns into like a sort of a puff of fog and kind of dissipates from the room. So he kind of flows through the cracks beneath the flagstones of where you guys are at, and then so he sort of takes his leave of you and turns to a gaseous and exits the room through the cracks in the floor. And so the fellows that you are left with right now are kind of looking at you like, all right. He says, we have to do this carefully. He says, because if we're caught, especially with as many of you as there are here, it says we might get ourselves into a fair bit of trouble. Now, they all do not have any weapons, as I mentioned. You don't necessarily know that they're werewolves. There's probably ways that you could find out, but you don't get the sign. You don't get any feeling that they are going to betray you. They have their orders, basically. Blodgett got that feeling from when he heard him speak, Blackthorn speak to them.
Yeah, they may be evil, but they're lawful evil. Yeah,
they got their marching orders, put it that way. And they might even help you out a bit, but let's remember they are lawful evil as well. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. No, werewolves are chaotic evil. Assuming that's what they are. They might not be. They could be vampires.
Something's wrong. Something's up with these fuckers.
Oh, yeah. They're going to kill us. Or try to at some point.
They move out of the room, and Lupo is over in the corner,
kind of cowering,
looking at like, what's going on, guys? All right, so let's push that up there. Let's put Gray over here. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to follow them? They look as if they're like waiting for you. They're waiting for you in the hall to sort of like gather your thoughts. I mean, you guys can speak among yourselves. They don't really. Ways about it.
Gretz, I suggest we kill these three after we encounter Marquesa.
Well, I will just remind everyone that remember how much trouble we had with the wereboars, and werewolves are no less difficult to kill. So,
Gret have magic weapon.
Again, what do? You see all this going on.
I'm going to walk out into the. I walk out into the hallway with the guys, and I'm going to talk to the three clowns. And I'm
okay.
You know, these dudes are so weird. I don't know what's going on here. But we'll take care of it.
And they kind of look at you and they go. They kind of nod at you. And they size you up a little bit, Duncan. They're about your height, maybe. They look like they're pushing about 6 foot tall. And again, the only one, like the one in the center here, this guy has a chainmail shirt. The others, they look like merchants, or they appear to be merchants, anyways. They don't.
I'm pretending to be friendly with them. I'm watching very, very carefully.
Monster. So they kind of nod at you, and they look at you, just kind of like trying to size you up as far as like what you're wearing, Duncan.
All right.
But they're not in any kind of attack posture or hostile or anything towards you. They're just kind of sizing you up a little bit. And when you came out, they were talking amongst themselves, but they were also speaking in that same language that you just heard them talking just a moment ago. Let's see. Blodgett, what do you want to do?
I will follow them out in the hall. I've got both my dancing short sword and silver dagger, at my sides in each hand, ready to go.
Okay. So they look at you with your silver daggers in each hand, and they kind of look at, like, raise an eyebrow. And the middle one smiles just imperceptibly, like just a little, like, Bruce Willis grin. And that's about it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying not to look threatening at them or anything else. I'm just like,
They
I've got
notice
my magic sword and my dagger ready.
They notice your weapons as you're coming out. Grat, what do you do?
I'm gonna follow everyone out into the hallway with my massive two-handed +1 two-handed sword.
Okay.
He's in the sack, and I say lead way.
Okay. Now, Aldemar, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna follow all these guys out of the room
Okay.
with my sword still out, and my torch has been put away.
Okay.
I'm gonna very, very discreetly, with my spare hand, have my dagger just slipped into my shirt sleeve, but it's not going to be visible.
Okay. Okay, roll me a d20 real quick as you're pulling your dagger out and you're exiting the room.
18.
Okay. As you're about to exit the room, you're just turning to go. Something you catch some movement out of the corner of your eye. And you look to your, let's see, the way you're facing. You look to your left, behind, just like slightly behind your back. You see the potted plant that's hanging from the chain in the ceiling. And the flower, remember I told you that the flower, it looks kind of like a dandelion.
Yeah.
You think just for a split second that you see the flower petals or the dandelion. I don't even know what to call them. They're not really petals, but the center of the dandelion kind of just quickly just shakes for 1 second. And then it's as you look at it, you're not sure you saw it, but it looked like perhaps something, maybe a wind or something blew it or something. You're not really sure.
See more?
I'm going to go, instead of leaving, I'm going to go up to it.
Okay. So you go up to the plant. It doesn't look like any weed or plant that you've ever seen before. In fact, as you look at it, you look at towards the base of it, and it kind of looks like it has like those what is it, the Venus flytrap kind of things at the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So maybe that might have been how it stays alive down in the dungeon there.
Gotcha. Well, I'm gonna just leave it.
Okay. Okay, so you leave it alone. It just simply looks like a flowering plant of some sort that you've never seen before. But I mean, you're in a different part of the world, right? Okay, so I'm gonna leave it here simply because we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to move you guys down into the bottom of this right here. So,
all right.
this human is okay. We have to be very quiet, very very cautious here, just so you know. And he looks at Blodgett, knowing that you're very silent, but then looks at Grot, who makes a lot of noise. And he goes,
Chainmail.
and the fellows that are with you explain that if we're going to pull it, it seems like they're already in on it too. Like perhaps they want to help you out with this because they might be mercenaries themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So they are explaining to you that to sort of pull this off, we've got to, stealth and tact is of the essence here. Lupo is looking like, what the hell is going on? And Gray will fill him in on what's happening. And so Aldemar, let's put you out here. Rolthos and the rest of you guys can. So essentially what these guys are going to do is guide you down. Where we go? Down to this door. It's over here. So I'm going to move you guys down this way. Before you do,
What? We could have found that shit our damn selves.
could have. This is the only way in or out. So push you guys down to here. Is there anything you want to ask them? Is there any questions you have?
How much they paying you?
A bit more than 800 gold pieces, and they kind of smile at each other like it's like an inside joke.
Not funny. We got robbed, you jerks.
They all say we have no use for gold.
That's not good.
He says Blackthorn is very generous to the people who serve him.
And you like things other than gold?
He says there are things beyond the material that we value. And again, they all kind of like look at each other, sort of knowingly.
That sound not good. Gret no happy with these three.
The smart ass in me wants to ask if it hurts when they transform into a werewolf, but I don't necessarily want to give that away.
Nah.
So,
does it hurt when you transform into a dog?
Is that what you say to him?
No. Gret not that dumb. Gret keeps secret until ready to kill them. Because we can take these guys.
We can take them.
You can do it.
You can beat Mike Tyson.
That's right. Stick it dynamite.
All right. Okay. Last but not least, before we wrap up here, did you want to actually go into the alchemist's room again? You've already been there. That's what I was going to say.
Well, we didn't find a potion of healing though.
No, you didn't. But you did find a very nice bright green coffer, all covered in emeralds.
we're not touching that piece of shit. Gret, no worries. So we're gonna send Blodgett up to door. Blodgett, you check door.
Okay. So you want to check the door, Blodgett?
I will. Yes.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna check the door here, and the one of the humans is right with you while you're doing so. The door itself is also of that same black oak that the other ones were. So it seems to you, anyways, and Aldemar as well, that if it's a black oak door, it must be something official, or it must lead to some place that's like more official than just sort of like these plain rooms. So you're starting to sort of get the sort of system that they're using here. And the fellow that's like sort of behind you as you're sort of checking this thing out, he says, I should probably go and have a look around. They know me here.
I step out of the way and wave toward the door and say, have at it.
Okay. So he proceeds through the door. And do you want to do anything as he goes through this door?
I'll just kind of
light. By the way, when he opens the door, there is most definitely lots of light emanating from behind this door.
Okay, I just try to glance in and see what I see without sticking my head in and being obvious.
Lupo took it upon himself earlier, in like 2 sessions ago, to see on this side. Now, you hear the human from because the door's still ajar, and you can hear him speaking in Goblin. And by the way, you also know Goblin, so
yeah.
So you hear it, and he's saying something to the effect that they're needed elsewhere.
Okay.
And he's essentially sending the goblins that were on the opposite side to like a barracks of some sorts.
Okay.
He's basically he's following through. He's not fucking you. So he's telling the goblins, or there's at least two of them on the other side, possibly more. But you hear him speaking in Goblin saying, all right, you guys are needed in the barracks. And so they kind of like, they kind of swear at him for a minute, and then they take off.
And they bugger off. Okay.
They bugger off.
Wow, they have some kind of pull here.
Yes.
Interesting.
So there we go. All right. So now the human comes back and is just kind of sort of like waving you through. So and the door is open, by the way, now, so you can actually see through the opposite side now.
Okay.
Let's clear a little bit out of here for you guys. Really large hallway, actually, and you can see from where you're at. You can see probably about this much, but it's very just because I'm taking out the fog here. It's actually well lit. It's just this is as much as you can see. Blodge it.
Okay.
So there you have it. You guys want to proceed through?
We might as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna push you all onto this side here so we can pick it up right here when we come back.
Cool.
Let's push this over here. Grot's there. Do you have any questions? Is there anything else you want? Any conversations you guys want to have before I kill us here? Let's put yes there. We by the way, for the next session, we need to have everybody in on this one.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure everyone will be here.
Especially Gray. So, I mean, I know Gray had like an emergency to tend to, but
yeah,
we need to have like, especially Gray, because I will tell you right now, had Gray been involved in the Blackthorn incident up there, it would have gone down bad.
Oh, I have no doubt.
Gone down bad.
It would have been hilarious and probably more entertaining for the people watching. But,
yes.
We'd have.
He would have just would have gone to ape shit, I'm sure, but so you played your cards pretty well here. I was kind of wondering what you guys were going to do, but again, I think if Gray or even Amos, if Amos had been here, he probably
fireball
throwing shit down, and that would have been that's why. By the way, that's also why I had you guys up at full hit points, because that could have gone south really bad. So
makes sense.
There you go. All right, so I'm saving this where we're at right now, and I will kill that out. There we go. All right, fellas, anything else? Do we need to by the way, I am, like I said before, I'm transferring all of your 5th edition your character sheets over to like this stuff right here. What I'm going to do is once I get these, I'll scan them and then I'll send you the PDFs of them, just so you guys have something, and then you guys can write on them afterwards if you want.
That's fine. And to quick shout out to Ragnar and Mike for the super chats in tonight's game. Thank you guys.
Super chats.
Well, we can't see them because what we do is we can now have the ability to add anyone who's as a guest can also stream to their own channels here.
All right.
So
shit, I should
they're probably on
simulcast. We have Mike Steele. Mike Steele gave us $10. He said, but if there's any masculine geeks there, I want to do them. Okay, here you go.
If there's any girls there, I want to do them.
We got Ragnar gave us $1.99, showing the love for the God Emperor. Thank you very much. Yes.
Well, if you want us to see your super chat, you have to actually come over to and throw it up on Masculine Geek.
Yeah, here's the God Emperor. Here's the God Emperor sound clip.
Get a screenshot of that. There you go. Cool.
All right, fellas.
Sweet. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Everyone's been in the chats, both on Masculine Geek and the simulcast as well. It's been a pleasure. Everyone in the replay, thank you for joining us. We'll get another game scheduled quickly and soon.
We can do another one. Let's see. I am not back in Vegas until the 12th or the 13th, so I could actually do it next Wednesday if you want.
I say we pick up next Wednesday.
Are you going to roll up another character in the Viking game, Rollo?
Yeah, if I can get to. The problem is like I'm when Drew does his games, I'm usually in Vegas. So but yeah, I definitely would like to. So I'll pick that up.
Okay.
Since my other guy died.
Yeah. Hey, we got him sent to Valhalla though.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, Odin came down himself and got you, so it was awesome.
Yeah. Cool. All right, man.
Very cool. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your evenings. We will pick this up next week, and let me throw in the music. Oh, before we go head out, TJ, take us out, and Rollo, take us out.
All right, guys. You know the drill. Keep the lead shooting down range. Keep the wine flowing. Keep the fires burning. Don't take anyone nickels. Don't drink all the rum. And tune in to next week's game on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Rollo. There you go. Horst.